Across the cold mountain ranges of North America, the grizzly bear emerges like a raw force newly awakened. With claws measuring 4 inches, each sweeping motion carries enough power to keep other creatures at a distance. The ground trembles lightly under its steps, as if the forest itself is making way for the one who stands at the top of the hierarchy. Through the thick layers of mist, its silhouette moves forward, affirming why the grizzly bear is seen as the ultimate strength of the wilderness. Across the frozen plains of Yellowstone, the Junction Butte wolf pack forms a wide circle, more than a dozen wolves closing in around a grizzly. On the snow-covered ground, their breaths rise in mist as the wind whistles through the dry grass, thickening the tension in the air. What they're fighting over is the last meal of the day, and every eye is fixed on the dark brown figure standing firm in the center. Wolves dart sideways, shifting direction in quick bursts, testing from every angle, building pressure from all sides. The bear does not retreat. It turns in sync with the circling pack, shoulders angled toward the greatest threat, head lowered, ears tuned to every shifting step. Then the pack splits in two, one flank feinting in another direction, throwing the circle off rhythm. They sweep wide, taking turns to provoke, while the bear pivots its shoulders to hold position, growling in steady bursts to assert its boundary with fierce determination. The standoff stretches on, energy fading in the grip of the frozen air. One by one, the golden eyes turn away. The wolves withdraw from the open ground, leaving the grizzly standing still beside its meal, a solitary point of calm in the heart of the harsh winter. In midsummer, mountain goats begin foraging across the rugged hills, venturing close to areas shadowed by the threat of bears. They cling to the steep ledges of the Santa Elena Canyon, holding their ground high above the valley. A chase erupts across the chain of steep cliffs. A North American grizzly moves in, its gaze locked on a mother goat and her kid. The young one leaps across a gap as the mother leads, hooves gripping firmly. Here, the height itself becomes their shield. In contrast, the grizzly's massive build forces it to move with caution, each step carefully measured. The pace of the hunt slows, the distance widens, and the prey fades into the mountainside. The question remains, on flat ground, would the outcome have been different? In another stretch of Yellowstone's plains, a grizzly quietly trails a full-grown bison during the lean days. It doesn't rush, waiting for that brief moment when its rival lets its guard down. When the signal comes, the instinct to survive ignites, and the chase begins. But the early advantage quickly shifts. The bison, massive and battle-tested, turns to maintain distance, lowering its center of gravity to avoid being cornered, then counters with controlled, powerful charges. The bear drives its opponent toward a dry stream bed, where slick rocks and icy water force both to adjust their tactics. Here, the advantage shifts to the grizzly. Its heavy, steady steps and the water's drag combine to make every approach precise. On the same Yellowstone grasslands, the order sometimes reverses. The grizzly, symbol of the wild, is forced to retreat when a massive bison suddenly shifts from defense to attack. The sheer weight and speed make the bear recognize the disadvantage, and it quickly withdraws from the area. In a land where every creature must balance between attack and defense, even the strongest predator can become prey in a single moment. At the forest's edge in Montana, as a herd of deer steps into the clearing, the young ones instantly draw attention. The bear begins its move in silence, keeping its distance and waiting for the slightest mistake. It follows with steady persistence, channeling all focus into those few decisive seconds, just as one deer stumbles over a fallen branch. In this terrain, the deer is at a disadvantage. But for the grizzly, victory is not merely an outcome. It is the balance between patience and instinct. Along the icy rivers of Alaska, white foam swirls at the base of the falls. Hundreds of salmon fight their way upstream, leaping over each rushing step in their journey to spawn. Perched on a rock, the grizzly positions itself at the narrowest point of the flow, where the fish leap within reach and moves with swift precision to claim its meal. The waterfall is more than a feeding ground. It's a vital link in nature's cycle. The salmon enrich the soil and the forest, sustaining future generations of bears. The sound of the falls, blending with the cold wind, marks the close of another turn in the rhythm of the wild. The brief feast is the reward for a summer of patience, a perfect balance between instinct and nature's order. As the sun touches the mountain peaks, the bear leaves the riverbank, carrying enough energy for hibernation, a timeless cycle shared between creature and earth. During migration season, the grizzly moves parallel to the reindeer herd, watching in silence. It waits for the moment when the herd crosses the soft ground, where even the fastest runners begin to slow. When the moment arrives, the chase begins. The bear bursts into speed, the herd scatters in a brief wave of chaos, and one young reindeer falls behind. Out of rhythm, control is established before the prey can regain its pace. By the riverbank bordering the plains, another reindeer is driven toward the icy water. It tries to sprint away, but the slippery ground and the relentless hunter behind it slowly close off every escape. The struggle swirls across the surface of the water. The adult reindeer fights back fiercely, every moment charged with tension. Its rapid breathing blends with the splashing current as the narrow line between life and loss grows ever smaller. After several tense moments of struggle, the bear gains control and the surface of the river returns to calm. Only the wind remains, whispering through the riverside grass, echoing the end of a survival contest where timing and endurance decide everything. Beneath the forests of North America, the grizzly faces not only its prey, but also its own kind. Each bear, weighing nearly 800 pounds, stands face to face in disputes over territory and breeding rights. They do not rush in recklessly. The confrontation begins as two massive figures cross into the same boundary. They circle each other, and with every shift of stance, they leave marks on the ground, signs of power and presence. Both test their strength with short, forceful pushes, then deliberately pause to save energy, because for the grizzly, endurance is what defines survival. In the end, the one that holds its ground secures its place, a symbol of strength and determination in the wild. Deep claw marks remain on the muddy earth, imprints of instinct and the natural order that governs the wilderness. In the lower forest zones, black bears and grizzlies share overlapping territories divided by fragile boundaries. The black bear is lighter and more agile, quick to climb trees, while the grizzly moves with solid power, its humped shoulders like stone ledges, its gaze steady and calm. When both approach the same food source, the balance often tips toward the grizzly. One firm step forward and a low warning growl are usually enough to make the smaller rival retreat. No roar or chase is needed. The hippo still makes the entire river cautious. Each time it surfaces, the water seems to tremble with thousands of pounds of muscle. A single shove can reset the order. One step forward is enough to make every other creature keep its distance. In the wild, no one challenges the authority of this seemingly gentle animal. Behind that quiet exterior is a strength the natural world cannot help but respect. The Nile crocodile is a master of hiding in the water. It does not need long pursuits or loud display. It waits in silence with only eyes and nostrils above the surface. When an opening appears at the water's edge, a short burst and a clamp-like bite close the distance instantly. The size of this ambusher is impressive. Length can reach about 20 feet. Weight can exceed 1,600 pounds, and bite force is estimated around 3,700 psi. That power is supported by a rolling motion underwater, helping it hold position and make the other side lose balance in a split second. On one calm river stretch, a young hippo separated from the herd was trying to find the safe zone again. But under the surface, danger was waiting. The crocodile's swift strike ended that young hippo's chance to survive. The river returned to stillness, while the hippo mother faced the hollow space left behind. Upstream, another crocodile drifted into a zone it should not have entered, the waters of an adult hippo group. Large heads slowly rose, and the formation closed in towards the intruder. Heavy bumps and forceful bites pushed it to pivot and search for escape. Surrounded by sheer mass and firm intent, the crocodile chose to withdraw to protect itself. The river folded back into normal calm, but the lesson remained. Where hippos gather, no outsider dares to intrude. The hippopotamus is a grazer with the build of an armored vehicle. Its body can weigh up to 4,000 pounds, yet it can burst to about 30 miles per hour over short stretches, enough to make a sandbank tremble. A pair of canines measuring roughly 20 inches works with a bite force around 1,800 psi, a figure rare among large mammals. Spending half the day in the water, it reads currents like a map, holding deep channels, river mouths, and sandbars as vital junctions. A stranger entering those waters is quickly overwhelmed. Without loud display, its power comes from the order it imposes, a silent rule the entire riverside understands. The hippopotamus is a herbivore, spending most of the day submerged to stay cool and rest. When night falls, it leaves the shore to graze, consuming hundreds of pounds of vegetation each night. This is the primary energy source that sustains a body weighing over 2 tons. However, observers have recorded a particular behavior. At times, the hippo will feed on floating animal remains, often from prey taken by crocodiles. This phenomenon is rare, but it carries a clear biological meaning. When minerals or protein are scarce, the hippo may make use of the remaining nutrients from those remains. This behavior does not come from a hunting instinct. It is a natural way to supplement nutrition when the environment is limited. Beneath the calm exterior of a plant eater, the hippo still adapts with flexibility to the demanding rhythms of life in Africa. Lions hold the top position in Africa's predator chain. Power moves with intelligence and disciplined formation. As the only social cat, information and decisions travel quickly through the pride. An adult male weighing about 500 pounds can surge to nearly 50 miles per hour over short bursts. Their greatest advantage is still the seamless coordination among individuals. Every decision favors conserving energy and choosing the right moment. Hippos are rarely a priority target, not because lions are afraid, but because the risk calculation shows the return is not proportional. The pride only considers it when a young hippo strays from safe water or when prolonged hunger forces bolder choices. Even when trying their luck, lions always keep an exit. They probe from the edge of the dry grass and only close in if the terrain helps. At the first unfavorable sign, the formation breaks off quickly. Hippos rarely initiate conflict. When territory is crossed or a calf is at risk, the response is immediate. Acceleration, mass, and resolve help push rivals out of the water zone in just a few beats. Encounters between the two species are often brief but tense. Outcomes depend on water depth and on who reads the terrain better. Usually the reeds fold back and the riverbank returns to a quiet rhythm. Hippos do not only hold deep water channels, they also rest in large mud wallows at the edge of the savanna. These mud fields help regulate body temperature, limit water loss, and act as transfer points between river and grassland. They are both heat shelters and natural borders that hippos treat as extensions of their territory. Sometimes predators push weaker prey into these mud pockets to block escape routes. The impala, a small antelope, is often the one cornered. But if a hippo is already lying in that mud pit, the entire encounter shifts instantly. For the hippo, any movement not permitted within the mud zone is a violation. It bursts forward, closes the distance, and drives away the outsider. The prey held in the mud is immediately controlled by the hippo before the predator can close in. The predator on the bank will not risk stepping into mud controlled by a hippo. In a moment, roles are reversed. The place that seemed like a trap for the prey becomes the ground where the hippo enforces an untouchable boundary. Even a symbol of strength has vulnerable moments. A stray calf is easily brought down by lions. Older, weakened, or ill individuals, and those caught far from water, face higher risk. Across grassland and river's edge, lions and hyenas are the main predators that exploit those gaps. Even so, nature wastes nothing. When an individual falls, scavengers arrive. Vultures, hyenas, fish, and countless small aquatic creatures, each taking a share. Nutrients return to soil and water, feed grass and algae, and then cycle back to the herds that pass through in the rainy season. The story ends in renewal. The loss of a weaker individual opens room for a stronger population, helping balance numbers and food supply. In that steady rhythm, nothing is wasted, and the riverbank keeps moving to its quiet, enduring rules. In the wild, a hippo's territorial boundary is not only a no-go zone for its own kind, it sometimes becomes a safe buffer for other species. Any creature that stirs the water draws an immediate response, crocodiles included. When an antelope or zebra is pulled into the river by a crocodile, the chance of survival is almost zero. But if the struggle happens within the area a hippo is holding, the outcome can shift. The reflex to defend territory drives the hippo to rush in and strike at the strongest movement. Many times, that forceful charge makes the crocodile release its hold and back away. The hippo does not set out to rescue the victim. Its self-defense simply creates an unexpected window of escape for others. In nature's hard order, the line between protector and beneficiary can be nothing more than the overlap of instinct and territory. On the savanna, the lion needs no display. Its mere presence shifts the rhythm of life. One close approach, and formations scatter. One roar, and boundaries are redrawn. The fastest chooses distance, the largest group chooses discipline, yet all yield to the ultimate authority. Its power is not just muscle, but the order the entire plain must obey. Here, the question is not who dares to challenge the lion, but who still stands when it decides to advance. Spotted hyenas are among the most organized predators in Africa. Adults average about 140 pounds, with jaws generating more than 1,000 psi of bite force. Their clans are female-led. Females are typically larger, more decisive than males, and maintain clear order. Living in large groups that can exceed 80 individuals, hyenas coordinate tightly in both offense and defense. They not only hunt for themselves, but also track opportunities to seize meals from others, such as lions or leopards. Once enough gather, they may even challenge an adult lioness. A familiar tactic is to split the opponent's focus, closing in from multiple angles at once to pressure the lion to abandon the meal. Each individual understands its role and moves precisely to the rhythm of the clan. Under such steady pressure, lions develop responses to reduce long-term competition. At times, they follow scent to hyena den areas. If the den entrance is shallow or exposed, a rapid approach can cause the mother to break formation and young to move out of close supervision. By targeting the source, lions can partly limit the future strength of a large, persistent clan. As for adult hyenas, the authority of a male lion can reset the entire scene. A confrontation can be decided without excessive force. If they persist, the result can be a serious setback. On this day, the meal remains with the lions. The hyena clan withdraws in order, conserving energy for another chance. In the southern Serengeti, where grasslands stretch for miles, African wild dogs move like the wind, quick, agile, and tightly coordinated. Each individual weighs about 60 pounds. Working together, they become a master mesh of speed and strategy. Lions and wild dogs rarely clash over food, but territorial disputes are another story. When a male lion detects wild dogs crossing into his range, the atmosphere shifts instantly. A single close approach can scatter the pack's formation. Facing a male lion, wild dog instincts say to fan out, keep distance, and watch from afar, because one well-timed burst can end the encounter in seconds. For the lion, it is a statement. This is their ground. Typically, lions hold a clear power advantage. An adult male can weigh 6 to 7 times as much as a wild dog. Yet muscle does not always guarantee an absolute outcome. When a lioness travels alone or with cubs, she is often more cautious. The aim then is not dominance, but protection. Quick feints and rapid barking can force the larger predator to turn and shield her cubs, then gradually withdraw without injury. This is no longer a simple brush over territory, but a testament to differences within the natural order. On one side is raw strength, on the other is discipline and tact. In the haze of dust, nature writes another chapter about boundaries and respect among those who survive. On the savanna, the cheetah is the emblem of speed, With a body of about 120 pounds, long legs, a flexible spine, and the ability to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just a few seconds, it is the fastest in any chase. Yet speed is not always enough to protect it from lions, the dominant hunters of this land. Typically, a cheetah can escape a lion thanks to its speed advantage. With early detection, it arcs away and disappears from view within seconds. But in certain careless moments, when a lion closes in too much, reflexes, no matter how quick, may not be enough. A hesitation measured in an instant can be fatal. When competing over prey, the balance tilts toward lions. After bringing down a meal, a cheetah must eat quickly to refuel and leave before other predators arrive. If it lingers, it can lose everything. Within the big cat family, the cheetah is the weakest, fastest, yet most vulnerable. On the African savanna, speed helps the cheetah survive, but it does not guarantee safety. Power and control still belong to the lion, while the cheetah holds its place through vigilance and wise choices in every stride across a land that allows no room for mistakes. Leopards are solitary hunters, weighing about 130 pounds, yet faster and more agile than any rival on the grasslands. They live hidden, often choosing high tree branches or rocky ridges to track prey and stay safe from larger predators. A flexible body, sharp eyes, and rapid reflexes are the shields that keep this species alive. When a lion approaches, if the leopard reacts early, it launches like an arrow. Reaching speeds over 35 miles per hour, a leopard can sprint up a tree trunk in seconds and slip out of reach. From above, it watches every movement below, breathing fast, yet eyes steady. Alertness and quick response are the two skills that carry it through countless encounters. However, if an entire lion pride detects and surrounds it, the chance of escape becomes almost zero. Lionesses coordinate to block escape routes, while a male uses presence and power to set control. A leopard may be an expert at evasion, but when every exit is sealed, it is forced to look for one extremely narrow opening in the circle. One wrong step, and all advantages of lightning reactions fade quickly. Even when high in the trees, a leopard is not completely safe. Lions, especially younger lionesses, can sometimes climb up to claim the meal. Both determine the landing point, and the meal remains with the lions. On the grasslands, there is no permanent shelter, only brief moments of fragile balance between power and survival. Territorial competition is the turning point of adulthood. Male lion coalitions, usually 2 to 4 individuals, jointly hold areas spanning 30 to 120 square miles. They patrol each night, leave scent marks, and send roars carrying for miles to assert control. When two male coalitions meet, conflict can erupt intensely, but usually does not last long. The winners are typically the group with a numerical edge, steady endurance, and tight coordination. The weaker withdraw quickly to avoid injury, while the victors secure territory and breeding rights within the pride, a result driven by both survival instinct and strategy. Controlling territory also protects food sources and cubs. New coalitions sometimes target existing offspring to reduce future competition. In response, lionesses act decisively, splitting the pride, creating distractions, and moving cubs to more hidden places to reduce risk for the next generation. Across many seasons, any individual that holds territory for 2 to 3 years reaches a peak, nearing 420 pounds, seasoned by experience and carrying enough authority to keep balance across a broad stretch of grassland, where every creature lives by the rhythm of strength, order, and natural limits. On the grasslands, the journey to adulthood for a lion is a constant test of instinct and order. Out of 10 cubs born, only about 4 survive to adulthood. Losses come from other predators, and even strange male lions seeking to take over. In the first months of life, cubs hide in thick bushes, relying completely on their mother. Hyenas, leopards, and rock pythons lurk near dense grass, making every step require caution. By 2 years old, young males leave the pride and begin wandering dozens of miles per day to avoid conflict and search for territory of their own. This is a harsh filtering stage. The weak fall behind, while the resilient learn to survive through alertness and disciplined energy. Speed is only half the game. The other half is a cold, calculated rhythm where every turn hides a waiting trap. Wildcats turns the terrain into a launch pad for a decisive burst, takes control in one clean move, then slips out of sight. The one who survives is the one who reads the land, measures the distance, and chooses the moment with a sixth sense. When nature is counted in seconds, who will make the first move? And who will still be standing? Across the dry plains of Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, the caracal moves like an arrow just loosed from the bow. Compact and lean at about 25 to 40 pounds, with powerful hind legs that allow instant acceleration and lift. Upright ears tipped with black tufts swivel like antennas, catching every sound in the night. The caracal is a master of speed and precision. It can spring nearly 10 feet straight up to take birds mid-air, or cut across the ground in a few heartbeats to reach hares, ground-dwelling birds, and young antelope. The strikes happen fast, clean, and quiet. All that remains is a reddish silhouette slipping back into the dry grass. By night, it helps keep bird and rodent numbers in check, protecting the grasslands from overuse. In the world of predators, the caracal needs no roar or snarl, one decisive leap, and nature is reminded of the art of absolute precision. From Canada's cold pine forests, across the shrub deserts of the West, to South America's rainforests, the mountain lion, also called cougar, puma, or panther, moves like a persistent shadow of the continent. Its wide range allows this cat to adapt to rocky hills, dry woods, semi-desert, and humid canopy alike. It does not display with a roar. Instead come hisses, raspy notes, and long calls that sound like wind along a cliff face. A supple body wears a tawny coat. The long tail swings like a counterweight for balance when descending, changing direction, or crossing broken slopes. Adults weigh about 60 to 220 pounds. Including the tail, total length can approach 8 feet. When it needs to burst, it can leap nearly 40 feet and rise close to 20 feet. Numbers worthy of a wilderness track and field athlete. Its routine follows the light, moving quietly at dusk and most active at night. The hunt is written by the terrain, using banks, ledges, or tree trunks for cover, then closing from the flank or from higher ground. The menu centers on deer and antelope. Depending on the region, it may include rabbits, larger rodents, or free-ranging livestock. On windy plateaus, after a successful take with a guanaco, it pulls the remains into rock crevices or brush, covers it briefly, and returns over roughly 10 days. When prey thins out, an individual may manage a territory exceeding about 370 square miles. Ecology shapes its fate. Data from the Rockies indicate that only about 56% of kittens make it through the first year. When deer density falls below roughly 4 per square kilometer, about 10 per square mile, the mother's breeding pace clearly slows. As food declines, the mountain lion must travel farther, crossing rocky valleys and snowy slopes to find prey. That journey brings risks. Fragmented habitat and competition with gray wolves and black bears turn each step into a test of survival. Along the edges of North America's boreal woods, where winter settles deep and temperatures drop to -40 degrees Fahrenheit, the Canada lynx moves over snow on large furred feet like natural skis. Weighing about 18 to 30 pounds, with silver-gray fur and black ear tufts, it disappears into a snowy backdrop dappled with tree shadows. It hunts at dusk. Eyes lock on a target from over 150 feet away. Then it bursts across soft snow, brings the pursuit to a swift close, and slips back to the tree line. Its dietary mainstay is the snowshoe hare, whose population cycles roughly every 10 years. When hares decline, lynx numbers follow. Research in the Yukon indicates that an adult may consume an average of 150 to 200 hares per year. When prey is scarce or the snow runs deep, it waits in ambush for hours, using the shade of trees for cover. The rhythm of the lynx follows the rhythm of the hare, a rise and fall cycle that shapes the entire winter of the snow forest. The black-footed cat is Africa's smallest wild cat, body length about 14 to 20 inches, typically weighing under 5 pounds, yet its hunting efficiency ranks among the world's highest. Sand-brown spotted fur, signature black feet, and a low profile let it blend into dry ground, moving as softly as a mist over sand. This is a nocturnal hunter. Each night, it can travel more than 20 miles, skimming close to the ground to watch and close in on a target. On a typical night, the black-footed cat makes more than 10 hunting attempts, with success rates often exceeding 60%. The menu includes small birds, mice and other rodents, reptiles and insects, well matched to its compact build and ultra-fast reflexes. An adult can capture up to about 14 prey items per night, roughly 1/6 of its body weight. Pursuits usually conclude within seconds, clean and precise. Though not broadly threatened, some local populations may decline due to fragmented habitat, limited water, and competition with other carnivores. Small form, strong resolve. The black-footed cat is a portrait of persistence and efficiency. The smallest, yet coldly precise. A spark that helps keep the night grasslands in balance. In the dense forests of Central and South America, the ocelot moves as if in a dance. Its gold and black rosetted coat catches moonlight through the canopy, blending into the dappled glow of the night woods. Slightly larger than a house cat, weighing about 20 to 35 pounds, every motion carries the poise of a seasoned hunter. The ocelot relies not on force, but on precision. It travels in silence, ears swiveling to catch the slightest sound. The rustle of leaves, the steps of a foraging coati, or the quickened rhythm of an iguana on the run. When it strikes, the leap is measured by instinct. Clean, quick, and rarely off target. Even the radiant wings of a macaw are not always out of reach. Its challenges are not only the animals it pursues, but also territorial rivals such as jaguars or large snakes. When needed, it climbs high, using the depth of darkness for cover, waiting for a safe retreat. Knowing when to hide and when to act is what allows the ocelot to endure in this demanding world. The bobcat is a medium-sized wild cat of North America, easy to recognize by its short, black-banded tail measuring 4 to 6 inches, a body length of 24 to 38 inches, a weight of 11 to 33 pounds, and a typical lifespan of 10 to 12 years in the wild. With camouflaged fur and a glide-light gait, it can live close to neighborhoods and still rarely be seen. Its strength comes from finely tuned senses and the ability to burst at the right moment. Night vision estimated at about 6 times more effective than a human's, top speed of 29 to 30 miles per hour, a leap of 9 to 16 feet, and excellent climbing skills. It can swim, though it seldom needs to. A familiar hunting formula is stalk, burst, finish fast. Approach in silence, accelerate within a few heartbeats, bring the target under control, then carry it to the safety of low cover. The core diet includes hares, birds, and rodents. When food is scarce, the bobcat shifts to larger targets such as fawns or weakened animals, even with a major size difference. In those cases, it closes from the flank, springs toward the neck area, then holds firm, using stamina to maintain advantage until the pursuit ends. Along forest edges near homes, squirrels are a favorite. Thanks to speed and precise jumping, the success rate for catching squirrels can reach around 70%. When facing snakes, quick reactions help the bobcat evade most strikes, keeping the encounter within its control. Bobcats live solitary lives and mainly meet during the breeding season. Territories are signed with scent, scratch marks, and low calls to minimize conflict. When encountering other predators, such as coyotes, the bobcat stays composed despite its smaller size. Its power lies in agility and reading the terrain. Competitive run-ins over the same food source usually wrap up quickly, avoiding escalation with little to no harm on either side. In the ecosystem, the bobcat helps balance rodent populations, preventing outbreaks that could damage grasslands and woodland gardens, even along town edges. It is a calm operator, reading the moment, finishing cleanly, and slipping from sight, like a shadow along the tree line, leaving only a thin trail behind, a sign of an animal that values timing over display. Under the cold skies of North America, the grizzly bear stands as living proof of unmatched strength and remarkable adaptability. It never needs to show off because every movement quietly confirms its true position. In the rhythm of nature, the one who leads is not the loudest, but the one who understands how to balance power and energy. Its silhouette fades into the deep forest, leaving an open question about the real strength behind survival. If this journey resonates with you, stay with the channel to continue exploring the majestic wild.